All right, so we're here with Scott Matthews. Scott, I know that you've been active in town. You're a longtime town meeting member. You are in the Milton Anti-Racist Coalition. You're on the Information Technology Committee.
Yes,
And you're raising two children that came through the Tucker School.
exactly. Yes.
So with that involvement, Scott, I think you'd have an interesting perspective. Tell me, why are you voting yes on February 13th?
So when I was there, part of town meeting where we voted on the initial bylaws for that led to this citizens vote, I basically voted yes there because from all the discussion and all the information that was put out there, it seemed to me like a no vote was detrimental to the town as opposed to yes vote. Right. So the way it was structured, there was a framework there for helping to implement this law that the government was putting down on communities that we fit into. Not only to just kind of structure things, but also to expand our community, to diversify our community. I know my wife and I, when we moved here because we saw Milton as one of the most diverse towns here in Mass. We wanted our kids to see that. We wanted our kids to see a reflection of them and of each of us here. And I feel like this law helps expand that, right? But also, by voting no, we're blocking ourselves from expanding and opening ourselves up to some detrimental damage to the town, like restricting financial opportunities that we have. The state could come in and just lay down their own zoning, and we don't have any control over that, right? Whereas this bylaw that was set may not have been the final law, but this bylaw that we voted on may not have been the final law. We could tweak it. That's what each town meeting you have the opportunity to do, to adjust it as we see fit as we're going through. But if the state comes down and says, no, you're doing it exactly this way, there's nothing that we can do. We're not managing our own destiny. And I think that's what we want in this town, to be able to, I think that's what everybody who's voting, whether yes or no, wants, to have some control over what we're doing in this town. And by saying no, I feel like we're losing that. I don't think that's what anybody wants.
Well, that's a great perspective, Scott, and thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm here with Geoff Wilkinson. Geoff, I certainly know you over the years of your strong involvement in the town. As I recall, you're a co-founder of the Affordable Inclusive Milton. You've been on the Council of Aging and the Cultural Commission, and certainly a town meeting member. So with all that perspective and background, tell me, why are you voting yes on February 13th?
I'm voting yes to promote social justice and civic pride in Milton.
Well, now that's a strong statement. Any other thoughts that you think it's important to share with people?
Sure, I'm tired of the media stories about Milton being the only town that's failed to comply with the law so far. We're becoming the poster child for regional resistance to diversity and inclusion. We did not invent exclusionary zoning, but we've been using it for decades to limit opportunities for working class families and people of color, and that has to stop.
And you feel strongly that this new zoning approach will help to get us to stop that?
Absolutely. We have a responsibility to be part of the regional housing solution that we've helped to create. And I think this is going to do that for us. It's good for Milton, it's good for our community, it's good for our future. And it's bizarre to me that the No campaign is invoking the Suffolk Resolves in our revolutionary history as an excuse to vote no. This is about fairness. This is about our founding ideals. This is about liberty and justice. This is about all people are created equal. So I hope everybody will vote yes.
Well, those are certainly strong points, and I hope people will pay attention.
Thanks very much, Brian.
Thank you. So I'm here with Nora Harrington. Nora, some of the folks that are listening to this may not be familiar with you. I know my familiarity with you is through town meeting, active town meeting member, but maybe you can tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Sure. I've been in Milton for almost 10 years now. I have 2 middle school kids in Milton.
Terrific.
Mm-hmm.
So Nora, share with us why are you voting yes on February 13th?
Well, one of the main reasons I'm voting yes on February 13th is because I care about local control. I think it's important that our town, and I think all towns, would want control over its own zoning. You know, we want to know where we can put single-family houses and multifamily houses. We want to make sure our green space is preserved. This plan actually has a lot more protection of green space than what's even in our current zoning, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, this plan was well written so that developers can't build on an entire lot. They have to leave a certain, you know, a large proportion of yard and green space in the lots. So I'm, you know, been very pleased with what I've seen. You know, the zoning is 30 pages long, so that there's a lot in there and there's a lot to study. And, you know, like many other town meeting members, I think this is the right plan for Milton. I think we want to be in control of our zoning, and I don't think we want anybody in the state doing that for us.
Well, I think your perspective and deep dive on that is important because, as you said, 30 pages, how many residents are really going to dig into it? So
Right.
thank you, Nora. Big
Okay,
help.
thanks very much.